Welcome into the live stream. Sorry, I was doing a little multitasking just then. I was uploading a Mind on My Money podcast, putting up a recruiting note at rebelgrove.com. Got a lot of stuff going on, Tyler Siskey.
I heard.
You have a lot of stuff going on.
Dude, it's been a complete and utter shit show of a week. I mean, it hasn't been boring. I will tell you that.
Oh, that's for sure.
It's just, you got high school recruiting going on. You got portal recruiting.
It's
NIL,
almost the
coaching
portal
changes.
The portal's the crazy part. I mean, the high school stuff's pretty crazy, but the portal stuff's insane.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it,
but yeah. I mean, and there's plenty, and I'm not the only one. It's been nuts. So it is what it is, though. It's the world we live in at this moment in time. But that's what, it's almost like you F around and find out. You wanted to have it all. Here you go. And now it's like, oh my goodness, now we got to go fix it. Oh no. So there you go.
Well, you know where I stand on the fixing it. We had the podcast on Monday, Brian. We just didn't have the podcast Tuesday. We're switching back to 2 days a week for a while. Ow. All right, ready to get rolling?
Let's do it, homie.
Okay,
I need some rain today.
I thought about doing a rain today, but I didn't because my sleep scores have been so bad that I'm taking the steroid for my knee.
Oh,
I tell you this?
No, I did not know this. I knew about your knee, but you didn't tell me what happened.
I'm on a steroid for the knee to see if the steroid will take some of the inflammation out.
Did they give you a cortisone shot?
No, that'll be the next step.
Okay.
It's all about trying to get to a place where you can get the MRI written off, covered by insurance.
Gotcha.
Because otherwise,
they're healthy.
Those are
it's
expensive.
A good business.
Yeah. So, but I can already tell it's not just inflammation. There's something structurally wrong with it, which was not helped by me grinding my teeth through a 4-mile run the other day. It was really stupid, but
yeah, dude, that's the Peloton bother you too?
No, not really. I did a Peloton this morning.
Yeah, you need to chill out on the running.
I did a Peloton and kept getting text about recruiting, so I'm like trying to make a post while I sweat. And it's stupid, just stupid. It's all.
Hayden Harris in the Cooper Chevrolet chat says he's had 2 rains today. Go get him, big boy.
Oh, bouncing off the walls.
He's ready to go.
All right, here we go. Wait, actually, I got to do one thing.
You got to do an audio file?
I did the audio file. I need to set up the right file. I've got a lot going on my computer as well. I've just got a lot going on, Tyler. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff.
You are. I'm just glad I'm
here.
You
know what I mean? We need candlesticks.
This is like a vacation for my day.
Welcome into episode 139 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Thursday, December the 7th. Hope that everybody is doing well. Appreciate you being with us. It's brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, and zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. All our MPW digital programming brought to you by our friends at Twisted Tea. I'll tell you about Twisted Tea in a moment. But first, Tyler, what's going on at Cooper Chevrolet?
Before I get to Cooper, I would like to let everybody know that I'm going with the Valencia Orange today, Neal.
Okay.
This Valencia Orange.
It's because you're such a Tennessee fan. You're steering all the good players to the Vols.
Yeah, all the good players I'm sending to the Vols. Go Big Orange. That is a joke for anybody who takes me literal. But no, man, this stuff's good. It's like Sunkissed is the taste. So if you like Sunkissed, we got a lot of new people on the show. We got a lot of new Tennessee fans of the show. I've been doing Tony Basilio's show last couple of weeks, and we got a lot of new. I saw it on the chat last week, and we're in the middle of a subject, but welcome all the Vols fans to McCready and Siskey. And so this Valencia Orange is for you.
I'll be headed to Knoxville in about a month. Ole Miss opens conference play. Be the first SEC game of the Chris Beard era in Knoxville, there at Thompson Bowling Arena. Head that way.
I like it.
Stop in Nashville, visit my daughter.
Oh yeah.
Then head up to Knox Vegas.
I'm going to Nashville beginning of January. I got some dates in there to run by you too because I'm gonna be out of town. But in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, our good friend Greg from Cooper Chevrolet, he's actually in Northeast Mississippi hunting this weekend. Sent me a picture on his way today. But Cooper Chevrolet has brand new, though. I know we got a lot of truck people in the chat.
Yeah.
New 2024 Chevy Silverado crew cabs. You can get as low as 1.9% APR financing or $2,500 total cash back allowance. Go check them out at cooperchevrolet.com or call 256-236-4481, and they will deliver them. If you buy a vehicle from them, you can buy a vehicle. They will drive it to you if they need to. So make sure you give them a call, 256-236-4481, and tell them that McCready and Siskey sent you.
I was looking up something that's funny. Yeah, indeed. And like I said, we're brought to you by Twisted Tea. Are you ready to elevate your college football game day experience? Check out Twisted Tea. It's your go-to game day beverage for college football fans. Twisted Tea is unlike any hard beverage you've had before. It's made with real brewed tea, packs a flavorful punch, 5% alcohol, no carbonation, delivering the perfect balance of taste and refreshment that goes down smooth for every game day occasion. No need to settle for the usual. Twisted Tea turns up any occasion, especially when you're cheering for your favorite team. Whether you're tailgating in the stadium parking lot, watching at a bar, or hosting friends at home, Twisted Tea is there to elevate game day experience. It perfectly complements your love for college football, your passion for creating unforgettable moments. So let's toast to unforgettable game day experiences with Twisted Tea, the drink that feels fun and celebrates your love for college football. Keep it twisted.
Real quick in the Cooper Chevrolet chat. If y'all have a question for me, like Luke did right there, he added Tyler Siskey so it pops up for me because I'm going blind. It's hard for me to see sometimes. He says, can you give the 5-10 minute? I'm not going to do 5 or 10 minutes. It's real easy. For dummies explanation as to the difference between an official and an unofficial visit, and what you can and can't do, and what the value each has. This is very easy.
Mm-hmm.
An official visit, the school. You get one per school. They can pay for all your expenses, every bit of it, your travel, your food, all of your entertainment while you're there. On an unofficial visit, the prospect has to pay for everything.
Right.
So that's pretty much it's who pays. That's the difference.
And an official visitor can bring, is it one paid or two paid guests?
You can bring more. It depends on marital status and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you can bring parents.
Yeah, so, there's
brothers or sisters if they're under 18. Isn't that right?
Anybody that wants to go ends up going.
Yeah.
Paid expense trip.
You just figure it out.
You figure it out. Allegedly. And no, my statute of limitations is not up. Allegedly. I checked.
Even on flights and things of that nature?
No. So here's what you do on flights. If you got so here's the thing.
So you're flying
you can make money.
You're flying in a kid from Detroit.
Let's say if I'm bringing in a kid from Detroit and he's got a whole crew with him, we're going to get a car service from Detroit to drive him down, or they can drive themselves and get paid mileage. They can make bank.
Yeah.
Like you make bank if you do that. But if you had a whole crew coming with them, you just order a car service and whoever can fit in it can fit in it.
And just have at it.
And ride, Clyde. There's ways to get around it.
Okay.
You can get creative. I've done that a couple times.
But you can only buy 3 plane tickets.
Yeah, unless the rules have changed again.
Yeah.
They've changed every 5 minutes on that.
Okay.
On the who can get paid and who can't. But I know you can bring in parents and step parents and sometimes grandma.
And the good news now is you can bring in guys out of the portal on official visits. That's the best news. You can bring those guys in and they can take visits.
All right, let's talk about this portal. You want to?
Yeah. As I'm reading from your notes, as of 10:30 this morning.
Yep, 10:30 this morning.
1,028 FBS players in the portal. That includes 487 Power 5 scholarship players.
Yeah, hold up right there before you get started. So
right.
So these are 1,028 FBS scholarship players are in the portal.
Yes.
I think the total number, and this was all classifications, and this did not count the FCS and Division II scholarship players. I think the number total was around 2,700. I got it written down on my other notepad over there. Total players in the portal. But we're talking FBS here. 1,028 FBS scholarship players are in the portal. 487 of those, like you said, are Power 5 from the Power 5 level. And then 60 of those, that's what you're about to say, 60 of those are scholarship quarterbacks are in the portal. 60 scholarship quarterbacks are in the portal now.
Yep. 60.
Um,
Think about that. Think
now,
about that number.
They're not all from different schools. I mean,
but think
we'll
about
talk
that
about
number.
Vandy in a minute,
Yeah.
but Vandy's got like 3 scholarship quarterbacks in the portal. But it's just insane. Probably the biggest thing take away from this, the quality of player that's in the portal right now is the highest it's ever been. By far.
Yeah.
Like you've had high quality players. Usually at quarterback, you've always going to have that.
Mm-hmm.
But you had some really high quality players in the portal in the past that may have had like little behavioral problem, little cancer, we're ready to get out. It's like a lot of the elite players that have been in the portal in the past have been guys that have all the talent in the world, super recruit, but for whatever reason wasn't great in the locker room and really hasn't had that success once they went there. This time you got bona fide players and people getting in the portal. And it's real simple why. They see the money going around, they want to go get their bag. And you can't blame them. Why are you mad at them? You can't blame them.
As it stands today, you have 3 opportunities to get paid as a college football player.
Yep.
Signing out of high school, your immediate transfer, and then if you're smart and you're good, you graduate early and with 2 seasons of eligibility left, and you cash in at a third place.
Yeah, it's gotten. Look, I'm so tired of talking about it, but we've talked about it ad nauseum, I guess, in the off season. And I'm not going to change my stance on this. And you can hate it, you can like it, you can tell me I kiss your ass. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, here's what's happening here. Just to interrupt you real quick. What's happening here is that because the majority of our audience is Ole Miss fans, and they have been one of the schools that's benefited from the portal. Right now, they love it. The day could come that their shoe's on the other foot and they don't like it so much.
They're not going to like it when they start recruiting these high school kids.
Who starts recruiting the high school kids? When other people start recruiting the kids that you bring in.
They're recruiting some good high school players.
Yeah, they've got to. So what you do now, and this is be something new for Lane this year coming up, Lane Kiffin, is you bring in these high school guys, and they've been recruited by a lot of other people too, so they've got relationships. And if they don't play, they get frustrated, and they want out.
Yeah, right now you got to play them today.
Got to put them in. Got to play them, and so it's. And that's probably if there's a knock on Kiffin's program. And again, there aren't many knocks when you've won 20.
You can't argue with it.
But they haven't played a lot of young guys and shown a lot of, hey, we bring in these guys and we develop them.
On offense.
Well, Quinshawn.
Yeah.
A couple, but not much. They're not widespread, and that's going to be the thing, right? They came in this year, 28 guys on the 2 deep going to Athens were transfer portal guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a lot of mileage out of the transfer portal. And that's good. The other side of that is you're not getting a lot of mileage immediately out of your freshmen. And those guys get frustrated, and they can jump in the portal and don't kid yourself. Someone will drop the bag on them because they would get that kid, and now they've got that kid for like 3 years before he can jump again.
Yeah, so I don't know why. And look, we're not going into what the proposal was. I do appreciate.
Yes, thank you.
I can't do it. I do appreciate his effort. Like I will say this. Finally, the NCAA's got a guy there. Charlie Baker, he's trying to find a solution. You know what I'm saying? Like for a lot of years before he got there, they just sat on their ass and didn't do anything, just let it go down the toilet. He's in a bad situation. With that being said, there's a very simple way to fix this. Very simple way. And that is not to allow immediate eligibility. It fixes NIL. It fixes all this roster management stuff. It fixes everything. And people are like, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that." Sure, you can.
It's not going to happen.
But that's what I'm saying is, well, I can tell you what else is not going to happen. Putting a damn salary cap, that ain't going to happen. Like we're sitting here trying to find all these solutions in the wrong place. And if you want, nobody's saying you can't transfer. It's not a right to play college football. And so here's what I would do. They're trying to separate it. This is the other thing that blows my mind with this deal they were trying to do. They're setting up the groundwork to split off, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to transfer, we used to have for like 1,000 years in college football, nothing was ever wrong with it. So we decided we want to mess it up anyway. and players have been getting paid for this whole time anyway. So for 1,000 years, if you wanted to play right away, you transferred down, right? So you went from FBS to FCS. If they want to make this thing great, if you want to play right away, go from Power 5 to Group of 5, any level down. But you need to distinguish the level between Power 5 and Group of 5. So then you could go, okay, if you want to play right away, if you want to go from Ole Miss to South Alabama, you can play tomorrow. If you go from Ole Miss to Georgia, then you have to sit a year.
See, I think what's more,
and when you graduate, you can do whatever. You do whatever you want to. But the problem now, like you're talking about, I'm sorry to cut you off, but what you're talking about is these kids are now, once you graduate, if you graduate in 3 years, you're like, man, I can't, I'm going to be a 7th round guy in the NFL, but I'm a great college player. I can go this year, next year, and just bank, and just kill it.
Yeah.
Just kill it.
Yeah.
I mean, JT Daniels, if he didn't medically retire, could have possibly transferred and done it again.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing?
No, you can go, if you're smart and you take care of your business and you're an early enrollee, you can start at school 1 and spend 1 to 2 years at school 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can use your one-time transfer to go to school 2. You graduate at school 2 in 3 years. So 3.5 years.
Yeah.
You do intersessions.
Assuming all your transfer credits and stuff.
Yeah. But you factor that in, right? So if you start at the University of State, you can go to a university of another state, and all your stuff's probably going to transfer. You're not going from ag school to
maybe,
but usually you're good. Usually you're good.
Usually lose about a semester,
but you can make it work. Intercessions, all that stuff, you can get it done. Then you graduate, and now you have 2 more years of eligibility. You can do double jumps. You can jump, play a year, and jump again and play your 5th year. You can get paid 4 times, but 3 times super easy.
Yeah.
Or you can do 2 years at school 1, transfer, 2 years at school 2, graduate, 5th year.
Yeah. No, it's just the roster management part of it, and nobody cares because they just want to turn on TV and watch the product. Nobody cares. But
what I was going to say was, I think it's more likely that they're given unlimited transfers than it is eliminating the transfer. That's my opinion. It's educated.
Well, I can say this. If the people of power have any say, like I know this for a fact. I know that there's people that swing a really big stick.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to do just the opposite. Now, I don't know if they're going to win this time, but they win a lot of decisions.
Right.
And they're located in Birmingham, Alabama. They win a lot of decisions. There's going to be they're trying to fight just the opposite. And I think there's one fight. I'm with you. I don't think they're going to win. We talked about it before the show. I'm not going to get into it.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, at some point in time, this is all I ask. My phone has been melting since the second we got off it's been melting for a week, but it's really been melting since the second we got off the show on Monday. And I have not heard one. I can't even imagine. I don't know how many coaches I've talked to. I haven't talked to one person in a recruiting department or a football coach that went, man, this is a great idea.
No. I've never talked to a coach who said that he thinks this is good.
So all I ask is this. This is all I ask. Before you make these fucking stupid ass policies and rules that are going to govern the fucking sport, how about let's talk to people who actually fucking do it?
Because
it bothers the shit out of me.
But we've covered this ground. This was all an overreaction in 2020
to a court case.
Well, and beyond that, to stuff that was going on in society and all of that stuff that was going on, and they overreacted, and you can't.
Sorry, I finished my rain already.
Once you pour the rain out of the can, it's hard to get the rain back into the can.
It's not like that Camus. It doesn't come back up.
I mean,
that was for you, Bob. Bob's in Seattle today. I know, I get it, but I just don't understand if you're trying to make rules for a sport, okay? And we're going to try to. We got a big mess. Does everybody agree we have a mess?
I mean, look. No. I'm going to answer your question honestly. I'm going to answer your question honestly.
Okay.
The diehard fans love this. This drama has replaced the old recruiting drama. This is the new drama. This is the new TV series that's a cliffhanger. Now they get new recruiting. Tons of recruiting. Where's Walter Nolan going to go? Where's this guy going to go? And he's going to take 4 visits in 5 days, and it's going to be the highest bidder. There's a segment of fans that love this. They get their recruiting drama back.
And I'll say this.
I'm the one pushing, because look at rebelgrove.com. They hated my guts on Sunday. And today, because I've been giving them pretty good, copious amounts of drama, I'm like 1/10 as popular as Chase now. Usually I'm like 1/200th as popular as Chase.
That's a great point.
People love the drama.
That's a great point. But here's also the point. It's because they're 10-2 and they've been benefiting from the portal.
That's what I said earlier.
All right.
That's what I said earlier.
There are 133 FBS schools.
They are at a program where you have a coach who has, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I've heard his answers. I don't think Lane thinks this is the greatest idea in the world. That being said, he's smart, like a lot of other coaches, but he's elite at it. Okay, this is what the rules are for now, and if these are the rules, I'm going to use them.
Yeah,
right?
no, I agree. You got to
so that's what he's doing. But no, I mean, look,
But he doesn't like flying across the country to try to meet with somebody that won't meet with him.
No question.
That's
and that happened yesterday.
And
yes.
Do you know how much that was? Do you know how much that cost the university to do that?
And time.
Probably $30,000.
Yeah.
To not even get a meeting.
Right.
That's where we're at.
Yes.
So there's nothing that's probably again the fans here. And look, I get it. They've done great. They're 10-2, man, going to the freaking Peach Bowl.
Sure.
High five. Great job.
Right.
Okay, but now you're resetting. Okay, now what happens if? Okay, now you got. I mean, they wouldn't like the portal if all of a sudden tomorrow, and I'm making this up. So for anybody, that's making this up. Quinshawn Junkins and Perkins come in, and tomorrow goes, I'm going to the portal. We don't like this portal thing anymore.
It's kind of melts down a little. But no, so far, look, they're one of the elite programs so far. Over 2 years, handling the portal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny to me that, frankly, the reason that Ole Miss and Missouri have taken this leap in the SEC echelon
because they've hit
is because, but there's credit in that, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. They've hit.
They've gotten in the portal, and they've been very successful in the portal. And it's the reason why today, beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I mean this when I say this, I don't mean just team, I mean program. Before Texas and Oklahoma get in and change the numbers, Missouri and Ole Miss are very much in the conversation for third best program.
Yeah. Look at the ones that hit Florida State. Bless them. I know they've had a rough week. They went undefeated.
No, he did terrific in the portal.
And they hammered it. And you go look at other schools that didn't do well in the portal, and they're suffering on the back end. Here's I'm not going to mention names. I told you before who it was, but I talked to an SEC head coach this week. I had about a 15-minute conversation with him. Done, dude. And I'm talking about so done with it. And it wasn't just recruiting. Obviously, every recruiting staff in America is done with it. But basically, the gist of the conversation was, I've made enough damn money in this business. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
He said, I can't leave. I almost said the town. I can't leave this place because I feel like I'm having to guard home base. I leave to go.
But he has to leave.
Yeah, but I have to go leave to go recruit. And then when I recruit, I got 5 kids that want to go in the portal. I can't talk to them before they go in the portal. And then I got these kids that are playing 10, 15 snaps a game for us.
So I have a theory on this.
All right, go ahead.
One of the reasons that a lot of recruiting, the portal information is really hard to get, is the schools don't want it out not because they don't want fans to know or other teams to know. They don't want their own players to know until they have a chance to sort of manage it.
It's unbelievable.
Because if you bring in position X on an official visit, the other guys who currently play position X are like, oh, I see that. I'm out. It's wild, like the subterfuge and keeping it quiet. And at first I was like, man, why is this so freaking private? Why don't y'all want people to know?
That's why.
What's the deal? Now it's like, that's why. It's not. It has nothing really to do with not wanting media to cover it or whatever. It's they're trying to protect their own building.
The gist of the phone call that I was calling about was in reference to a player, to a transfer player. And he's like, yeah, want him, think he'd be a great player. I can't take him because if I take him, I'm losing these 3 guys when I take him.
Right.
And now I got to go pay for those 3. I got to pay 3 other guys to replace those 3 guys. And he goes, now I'm in for this one player, X amount of dollars, and I don't have the money to do all that. And it's like this big game. And he's like, I can't go see the kids I need to go see because this guy's waiting for me to leave out of town so he can just get in and get out and go. I can't talk to him. Oh, and this other guy that played 10 plays a game for us. All right.
Yeah.
He comes in and says, School X is going to pay me to go here. I need X amount of money to stay. And he goes, that guy ain't worth that kind of money. So you want to tell the kid to kick rocks.
Yeah.
But you can't tell the kid to kick rocks because if I tell him to kick rocks, I got to go pay somebody that's probably not even as good as him to replace him for the same amount of money.
And maybe more money.
And he's like, he said, this
because
is
it's kind of like, because here's the deal with the money. This is the part that is interesting. It's like in baseball, right? For the longest time, I'll use the example that's kind of fresh on my mind. I used 2 of them. For the longest time, there was this assumption that Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the pitcher from Japan, who's coming over, 25 years old, was going to go for about 150, 160 million. It's going to be the deal. There'd be a posting fee of like 30 million. So the team that got him was going to be in about 200 million bucks. Nope. It's going to be more like 300 million bucks. So a lot of teams that were planning on
Is it too late to move to Japan and teach Brock how to pitch?
You probably should hustle. The teams that were in on him suddenly are scrambling, doing other things, and now you have like Cody Bellinger, who wants $300 million, and a lot of teams are like, well, we're not going to do that. But now there's a rumble that one team will, and so my point is you're in the portal, and you're like, okay, we're going to let this kid go because we can replace him with this. And then what happens is another team goes, no, we like him. We'll add $100,000 to it. We'll make this work. They want to get it done quickly. They want to get things done. They'll overpay. I mean, I know of an example in the SEC.
Is that the one we talked about before?
Yep, okay. Where a kid had an asking price, and another team came in with, hey, we want to get this over with. We don't want this to turn into a thing. So here's your asking price plus a pretty healthy commission. Got to get it done now. And it did. They got it done. Boom.
I just did the math in my head. A 33% bonus
on top
of what you were asking.
But it has to end right now.
33%.
Because they were concerned, hey, you let this thing percolate, and before you know it, it's like, why is everybody waiting in baseball for Shohei Ohtani to sign? Because once he's off, the less supply, the more demand.
Yeah. And
it's why if I'm a guy in the portal who's coveted,
just to hang out, baby.
Hey, I'm gonna take a visit, but I'm not committing on my first visit.
Yeah.
No, not unless you really pay up. And then if you really pay up, the people at the school that you just signed to who are already there, they find out that you got paid, and now they want to get paid. And so they're coming up to you after bowl practice going, hey, I heard and that stuff gets rolling. It's fascinating to watch. And frankly, a lot of the people that are running this stuff, they're not really trained in that world. This is intense stuff.
It's crazy. And that player that we were discussing, I think if he would have stayed in the portal, he'd probably end up getting more than he got anyway.
Well, he probably would have.
Because he would have been
but he might not have.
He close.
Almost certainly would have.
Yeah.
But he got a good fit, and he got paid more than he was even asking for.
Yep.
And it's wild. Like I've had people push back on some of the stuff going, there's no way, like someone said, there's no way Will Rogers is really getting whatever. I'm like, oh, there absolutely is a way.
It's nuts,
I can't tell you that what Will Rogers is or isn't getting, but based on numbers I've heard, I'm not surprised if Will Rogers pushes 7 figures.
All right. I need to be very careful how I approach this. Next one. I want to talk about a school in the SEC.
Okay.
And I've really tried. I've tried my Neal McCready skills for this morning. I've talked to, 7 to 10 people. All got the same story. Can't get the number right. I know a general vicinity where it's at.
I think you can say the name of this team because
I'm going to say the team.
Okay,
I don't want to say the number.
Okay, because I've read several stories about this where
there's been stories out.
Okay,
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Okay. Vanderbilt got just pummeled in the portal so far.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost all 3 quarterbacks. They have no scholarship quarterbacks right now.
Right.
Their young receiver that's really good. That's going to be really good.
Going to Georgia.
He was going to Georgia today, I think.
He's going to Georgia.
He's going to Georgia.
Yeah.
I know he's on visit, allegedly. I don't know what's out there and what's not.
Yeah, that's in my notes today.
Okay.
He's confirmed that he's going.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the number that I'm hearing
that Vanderbilt suddenly has to work with.
In the last 2 weeks, they've gone from practically not hardly anything to damn near almost indisposable income.
Really?
Yes. If the numbers
now, what about their admissions procedures?
All right, so that's part 2. So first of all, they got tired of everything. I think there has been significant people. I'm talking about the people that their net value starts with a B, not an M.
Yeah.
That have joined the crusade. I've even heard names on that. I will tell you privately, I am not bringing that up on this deal.
Okay.
That you know.
Okay.
Or you know who they are.
Okay.
But I'm talking about when I say indisposable income, the numbers I'm hearing would put them probably 3rd in the SEC.
Oh.
Like that kind of jump from nothing. And that's adding the 2 new ones that are coming in. I'm talking about a 16-team SEC.
So you're talking about more than $20 million.
I'm talking about mid-teens.
Okay.
Like in the last week.
Okay.
Like from nothing to that. Now here's the trick. You can have all that
because the top of the SEC is what?
It just depends. And this is going to be kind of like they are, right? You're going to look at their collective. I feel comfortable saying this. You're going to look at their collective and be like, no, they got this amount of dollars. They have a group of people that said that you just let me know what you need.
Yeah.
And they're going to pay as we go kind of deal.
A la carte.
Yes. They have a big ATM card. I'll put it like that. They got a really big ATM card. That's great. Best city in the league. Without question. Anybody wants to argue with that, we'll argue about that one. Best city in the league.
Yeah.
One of my favorite cities on the planet. Second favorite city. My second most favorite city in the United States. Okay. Nashville, Tennessee.
What's your first?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
Not even close. That's not even up for debate.
You've never been to Ruston, huh?
I have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have.
Yeah. Come on.
A couple times.
It's beautiful.
I forgot I lived in Louisiana, man. Right around the corner. Here's the deal. And I want all Vanderbilt fans and Nashville people and SEC fans to understand this. And if I could give one message to the Vanderbilt faithful, that is awesome that you got all that money. That is great. And it is going to help probably retain some kids. But until the admission standards change, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay? Doesn't matter. Like, think about all these transfers that are in the portal right now. And I'm sure that he's a great kid. But do we think Quinshon Junkins, if he got $5 million from Vandy, could get into Vanderbilt?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I don't know I don't know how that works.
You gotta be rocket scientist. I don't know how many. They have to change the admission standards. And Chris Lee, I love the guy. What'd I say, Chris Lee?
Yeah, Chris Lee covers Vanderbilt. That's why I looked at you like.
And you look at me like crazy. I'm talking about
Clark
Lee. See, that's what happens. I love Chris too. I love Clark Lee too. I think he's a phenomenal football coach.
Handsome guy. Good
looking dude. He's got a brother that's awesome. That Neal McCready guy's brother's awesome.
Yep.
But I really do. I think he's a really good football coach.
You think we got separated at birth?
There's no question.
Yeah.
There's no question. Guarantee you, if you did a 23andMe, you're going to be going like, hey, Clark, how's the mom and them?
Yeah.
All right. But
how's our mom?
Yeah. With all that being said, you got to give the guy some admission breaks. If you're going to put that kind of commitment, and I'm talking about this ain't no, hey, we'll help you out. It's commitment. If you're going to put that kind of commitment in, how about just let him go get some dudes?
Yeah.
Now I did. That's why Chris was in my head. I did send Chris a text message. I said, now that will change that will change NIL and transfer rules. Go let Vanderbilt become a power in the SEC in about 2 years. Let Vanderbilt just go run rough shot in football in the SEC with going to the college football playoff. Them boys be like, hey, see what had happened was we need to get this shit fixed pretty quick. That's literally, if they would, I'm not joking, with the money that they have. I'm not even joking. People are going to think I'm on crazy. The money that they currently have in NIL, if they said, hey, man, look, this is what we're going to do for you guys in athletics. If they are NCAA eligible, we'll let them in school here at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt will be a college football playoff team in 3 years. 3 years. They've been a college football playoff. Think about that. How? What are we doing?
That's unfathomable.
That's what I'm saying.
Now sign me up.
It's going. If they drop admission requirements just like everybody else, if you're NCAA eligible, you can get in. Same thing at Ole Miss. Like, it never fails, right? When I worked at Ole Miss, it never failed. Like, after they sign with you, they have to apply for school and stuff. And the admissions office, bless their heart, I know they meant well, but it never failed. They would send some letter to our kids we'd signed, said they didn't get into school. But we got different criteria, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the kids or moms are just losing their mind. How can he sign there? He can't get in school. We got it handled. We go, hey, can you, we get our requirement. Oh, that's right. He gets in school. But if they just treated Vanderbilt like every other school and hey, if you're NCAA eligible, you can get in school. Vanderbilt, with the money they have right now, college football playoff, 3 years.
Wow.
3 years. Now, are they going to do that? I probably not. Because this is the whole, when James Franklin was there and everybody wants to know why James Franklin, great coach.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't win because he was a great coach. He won because he had exemptions and was able to get players into Vanderbilt.
Because they'd go to that school across the street, right? For a while.
I don't know what it was. He was able to get players into Vanderbilt. All right.
Yep.
But here's the deal, right? Is then they got in trouble. They had that deal where the kid got in trouble.
Yeah, the rape thing.
The rape thing.
Yeah.
And then that was it. They said, nope, we're done.
We're done with these football players.
We're done with the football players. It's been like that ever since. So anyway.
Our next partner is Athletic Greens. I drink AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every day. I gave AG1 a try because I wanted better gut health, sustained energy, immune system support, and I hate taking pills. I drink AG1 every morning. I love knowing I'm doing something good for my body, giving my body the nutrition it craves, and covering my nutritional basis. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally couldn't be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water. Actually, I do it every night. Let it sit in the refrigerator and get really cold, and drink it first thing each morning. Done. Also like that it costs less than $3 a day. Pretty good if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients. It's a win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need for your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So go to athleticgreens.com/MPW. That's athleticgreens.com/MPW. Check it out.
All right. I got to be careful what I say. I got myself in trouble the other day on our show, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. All right. Duke is set to hire. If it's been announced, y'all let me know. Duke is set to hire.
They've announced Manny Diaz.
They've announced it. Okay. So they've announced Manny Diaz, defensive coordinator for Penn State, as the head coach. James Madison is set to hire Bob Chesney from Holy Cross. And then you got Tulane out there. I think you will start to hear some things at Tulane probably in the next 20, it's now 2:39 p.m.
Yeah.
I think you'll start hearing some things out of Tulane probably the next 24 hours, if I'd imagine.
Okay.
You'll start hearing some names pop probably the next 24 hours.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at on that. All right. Neal, you know what we're going to do today?
I mean, I could press you on this.
No, please don't.
I won't.
Please don't.
I won't.
That's just about all I could say on that. And then in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, Michael Starkey says, at Tyler Siskey, thoughts on Bryant Vincent getting the ULM job. Yeah, we talked about that's the one I got in trouble for the other day. Talked about on the show. I think he'll do a great job there, as good as
How'd you get in trouble for that?
It wasn't announced yet.
It was pretty announced.
It wasn't even close to being announced. I didn't realize that.
Oh, I knew it.
Well, I did too. I mean, obviously, I knew.
Yeah.
But I thought I did not look on the internet before.
Okay.
And I just went off conversations I had on the phone. I thought it was done.
Gotcha.
Apparently, it wasn't as done as I thought it was. I think he'll do a great job. If it can be done, he'll do as good of a job as can be done there. He is a grinder on recruiting. He coaches. I really enjoyed coaching with him. I coached with him for 3 years. Coached against him for a long time. He was a high school coach at Spanish Fort when I was at St. Paul's in Mobile in the early 2000s. He really good players coach, really good there, and really good with coaching toughness in the players. And he does it the right way. Grinder on recruiting. He will literally, the old expression, he will not leave a stone unturned. He will turn them all over to go find them. Probably his best recruit that I've ever seen him do a job on, that I was just like, holy smokes, Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett, he got to UAB. Gerald Everett got cut from 2 junior college programs, had nowhere to go. He got cut from the junior college. And he takes him at UAB. He had nowhere else to go, brings him to UAB. He's now starting tight end for the San Diego Chargers. One of the best tight ends I've ever been around in my life. So he was a stud.
How the hell did he get cut from a JUCO?
So Gerald, when he graduated high school, this happened to like him. DeMarcus Ware is very similar. Guys that just bloom extremely late. He was a wide receiver from Atlanta when he went to junior college. And so they only have 10 out-of-state exemptions. So he goes to JUCO. He went to Butler and Hutch. Both of them cut him because they can only take 10 out-of-staters. And so he was like 6'1", probably like 200 pounds or like 190, 200 pounds as a first and second year player in college. And then between him getting cut and him showing up to UAB like 3 months later to like walk on, he gained like 30 pounds. So now he's like 230. They put him at tight end. He ends up playing at like 250, 6'3", 250. Best ball skills you've ever seen in your life. And you watch him they'll play. He's number 7 for the San Diego Chargers. He does not get tackled by the first guy, even in the National Football League. Can't get him down. He's got the best balance and body control of any skill player I've seen in a long time. So, Neal, we're going to have some fun with this bad boy. Do you know what time? It's a special edition, second half of the NFL season of Make It Rain. Competition is over unless you want to have another competition.
No, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah. You decided where you're sending me at?
I have a couple of cities that I'm looking at sending you. I've discussed a few of them with Bob. See what he thought. I was getting his opinion on those.
Yeah, I'm so excited about going to La Jolla and just chilling on the beach for a while.
What is La Jolla?
San Diego.
It is not San Diego.
Because I'd heard you were sending me to the beach, and I was super excited about the beach. And so I'm looking forward to that. The one where you were going to send me down to Destin was, I mean, that sounds like pure torture.
Let me send you to Water Valley.
I can just sit in a hotel room does Water Valley? They don't even have hotels. Yeah, no,
I bet they got something.
I was excited to hear about my beach trip coming up.
So how are we doing this? By the way, when I'm doing it, am I planning your logistics or are you planning them?
So what you're supposed to do is you send me somewhere.
And you have to do it.
And I have to figure out how to get back.
Okay. All right.
So you don't have to do you have to do the logistics of getting me there.
All right.
I do the logistics of getting me back, and I have to use multiple modes of transportation. I can't just if you hypothetically, okay, you flew me to Minneapolis.
Okay.
I can't just go, oh, cool, I'm in Minneapolis, I'm going to buy a ticket back to Memphis.
Right. Yeah, I know that. So you got to do plane, train, and
I'm going
to
guess that you're probably sending me to someplace more remote than Minneapolis. That's the reason I use that. If you flew me to New York City, for example, I can't just, if you flew me into LaGuardia, I couldn't hop over to JFK and fly back.
All right. And then the last question I have, because this will affect my city picking here.
Although, I shouldn't have said that, because if you flown me there, I could have taken the train. That'd be easy. That'd be the easy one. Send me there. That's no problem.
All right. So here's my question. I get to name the destination city as where you're going, right? It's not the airport that you have to fly in to get to that destination.
Right.
So it starts once you get to the destination city. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Because that affects my my mentality is like, hey, is he going to be able to use a car?
Because if you're sending me to someplace remote, I got to fly into a place
Yes.
that's close to that place to get to that place.
Yes.
And then once I get to that place, it starts.
Okay, I'm 100% confident I know where I'm sending you now then.
Okay. Key West.
Nope.
Fantastic.
And we're going to do this after the February signing day. Is that what we're doing it?
No, I think we can do it in January.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to get through December. Let me get through the bowl game.
Okay. And probably a good time to say this. If you are a business out there and want to sponsor Neal's Where's Waldo Adventure, reach out to us. We're open on social media at McCready and Siskey Podcast, and we'll make sure we keep the expenses down for you. But we're going to do content and for the show. And the other thing I was thinking about doing too here is like we'll just keep the normal show schedule as is. And then whenever you are on the road, like we'll do a show like you'll call in on the pod.
Okay.
That'd be hilarious. Like, where in the world is Neal McCready right now? And you'd be on some Greyhound bus between place X and place Y.
So you would just do it from your place?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
I have no idea. I got enough. I got an IT guy that's pretty good. He built it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
He'll figure it out. Sorry, Austin. Him and Cole. Get me figured out. All right, Neal, we're going to pick some NFL games.
Okay.
All right, so for this competition, how about this? I can't do something without something going on. How about this? From here till the end of the season, end of the football season, we'll do playoffs too. The winner owes the other one dinner.
Okay, that's fine.
You good on that?
Yep.
We'll just got to put something online.
Yeah, Sammy, I don't have a passport. So the way passports work, I think it would take me months to get a passport. I don't have one.
Well, considering the current pace of the United States Postal Service, I would.
The amount of stuff that's getting lost in the mail is unbelievable.
Neal, that's also taking a lot of my time. I went to the post office this week.
It is unbelievable.
I had a client, and for whatever reason, guys, I don't understand it. Some universities refuse to do the ACH payments. They still want to do checks. It's a state thing, I guess. I don't know. I have 7 checks, 7 different schools, Neal, that their checks have. I'm waiting on them because I've had to call. They sent them. I mean, they showed them. They showed me they sent them. And I had one particular school that I've had to call and cancel. They had to cancel their check, and remail it 4 times. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times. And then so finally they got some kind of waiver where they could do some kind of direct. I mean, it's nuts, man. It's insane. So I went to the post office to try to talk to somebody. And just remind me, if I check out of this world before you do and you come see me and I'm on my deathbed, is there any way you can tell Mother Nature she can give me that hour of my life back? Because I could probably use that for some better things.
It's unreal, man.
It's bad.
I mean, and I know it's the holiday time, but you got to know this stuff's coming, right?
If it's anything, the U.S. Postal Services, I love you guys.
Well, and if it gets no offense to anybody in Memphis, but if it gets to Memphis, you got about a 1 in 2 shot of getting it delivered.
I found out that most of my issues, all 7 of them, would have gone through Memphis.
There you go.
I get anything south, I'm good. Like south and to the east of us, anything from the north or from the west, it's
crazy.
I'm in trouble. All right, Neal, it's time for a special edition of Mega Rain Thursday. Do you want me to just go ahead and pick mine? That way you got time to look at some of yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Neal, I'm going to start this bad boy off. Tonight, the Pittsburgh Steelers are hosting the New England Patriots. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 5.5-point favorites. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. We got Mitch Trubisky going. We got, hey.
Woof.
You know what's more woof? The New England Patriots offense.
That's true.
Going against a great Steelers defense. The Patriots were 5.5-point dogs last week to the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Chargers scored 6 points to cover. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers tonight at home. I've already bet this game at -5.5 at home.
Okay. All right.
You may keep going or you want?
I'll grab one.
All right, go ahead.
I'm looking at these for the very first time. So, I have not looked at these at all.
I have actually studied, so I'm going to go 5-0 this week, 6-0.
I'm going to roll the dice on my boys after they looked pretty damn good the other night. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals getting a point at home against the Colts. I think they figured some things out with Jake Browning. Made some people happy. Their running game looked terrific with Mixon, and defensively they'll bounce back a little. They're making some plays. Give me the Bengals plus a point.
Neal, I had the same thing in my pool.
Okay,
I agree with you 100%. I think, dude, Browning was
he looked good. He made money,
dude.
Hey, do that again, Jake, and you make some real money.
I'm talking about
because they know quarterbacks in this damn league.
None.
I mean, if you can play quarterback, I don't know what his contract situation is, but like the Bengals might be able to turn him into a pick or something.
That was really impressive, and I was really glad that I had the over at 38.5. That was even better. It was a great. I know we were joking that you were probably cussing your Bengals the other night because they were actually scoring. You were like, "Stop throwing the ball so well."
Well, I kept asking Siri what the score was, and after a while, it was like 20-something to 20. So I was like, "Screw it." And then I watched the end side. I watched the end of the game.
Great game.
Any word on
high ankle sprain?
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence. How about this? I did a live bet on the game. After I hit the over, I get on betonline.ag, and we'll get the link up there in a minute. I'll talk about that in a second.
I think it's already up.
Is it?
I think so.
I'll get on betonline. It is. I see it. I got on betonline.ag and did a live bet. How about this? The Jaguars had crossed the 50. They were like at the plus 40 on that. It was like 28-28 or whatever it was at the end of the game. And this was like 2 plays before Trevor Lawrence gets hurt, 2 or 3 plays. And it's a tie game. I got the Bengals money line. I was like, because I'd already hit money on the over. So I was like, I'm going to, ride the wave, man. Ride the wave. I put $30 money line on the Bengals. What do you think I got it at?
I don't know.
Plus 450.
Wow.
And it was a tie game.
Wow.
I got it plus 450. Made 130 something bucks.
How about that?
Get you some.
Okay.
All right, Neal, my second pick. And I see him in the chat, Neal. GJG's Atlanta Falcons.
Look at that.
Are hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
The Falcons.
Woof of a game.
I know this is hard for you to imagine. Do you know the Falcons are actually favored in this game?
1.5.
1.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that?
I mean, I'm looking right at it.
And Neal, it's not enough. Give me the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, my goodness.
GJG, so never say I don't bet with the Falcons. Give me the Dirty Birds at the house minus 1.5.
Wow.
I can't believe I just did that either. GJ, if this doesn't work, I'm totally blaming you.
All right, this is a rat line, but the Jets are turning back to Zach Wilson, and he didn't want to do it?
I heard that was
not exactly true.
Yeah. That was a whole Aaron Rodgers thing, said that on Pat McAfee the other day.
All right, they're going back to Zach Wilson. They say never to lay this number. I'm going to do it. What the hell? It's dinner. Give me the Houston Texans minus 3.5 at the Jets.
I'm so like the Jets. They kill me. I just know they're desperate to win. You know what I mean? But they didn't show it last week. No, they cost me last week.
They look bad.
But it is what it is.
Because they lost to the Falcons, right?
They lost to the Falcons at home.
Yeah.
And they just can't
they
offensively,
can't
man. They can't score.
Yeah. So give me Houston. I'll lay the 3.5.
All right, Neal. Here's another one. The Buffalo Bills, another great game. The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, this is an interesting game.
Traveling to Kansas City.
This feels like a big moment for the Bills.
Big moment. The 6-6
and kind
Bills.
of a big moment for the Chiefs.
6-6 Bills versus the 8-4 Chiefs, who the Chiefs they got beat by the Packers on the road.
They looked really mortal doing it.
They didn't look great. I think we got
they got Patrick Mahomes, and he gives you a shot every day.
And they got Mr. Travis Swift.
But some of the other stuff, they don't look the same.
It's not the same.
Mm-mm.
Bills, on the other hand, made an offensive coordinator change.
And have looked better since.
Got Joe Brady.
But this is the jump. Because it's one thing to do it against some teams. It's another thing to, go to Arrowhead and get it done.
Give me the Buffalo Bills plus one. Is that 1.5?
Plus 1.5.
Plus 1.5 at Kansas City. I think they win the game outright. I probably won't even play the line. I'm probably going to play the money line. I think the Buffalo Bills make a freaking point. Give me the Bills at Kansas City coming off a bye week.
How about that?
Yep. Coming off a bye week.
Oh, there's some interesting games. Give me Cleveland at home laying 3.5 against Jacksonville.
I have a feeling Jacksonville's not going to score. What's the over-under in that game?
30.5.
That's low. I have a feeling Jacksonville's not going to score a whole lot of points, but probably neither is Cleveland. Both of them, this is like backup quarterback mania going on right here.
A little weather involved. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends on if DTR's coming
If DTR's not in the portal, I don't know.
He's not in the portal. I don't know. I like it. But, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. I couldn't touch it because of that. All right, Neal. I'm going to feel bad right here. You know, my good friend Bob Ricardo.
The Bears.
And my good friend Neal McCready. They got these teams that they like.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really claim them a whole lot unless they're doing well. When they're doing well, they're like, hey, what do you think about my Bears? But when the Bears suck, it's like, hey, they suck. They don't really talk about them.
That's true. Interdivisional game, getting 3.5 against the Detroit Lions.
It's an interdivisional game. It's 3.5 at home versus the Lions. And the Lions have been giving up some points a little bit on defense. But they're not this week. Give me the Detroit Lions minus 3.5 at the Bears.
You know what? Just for fun.
You're doing it.
I'm taking the other side of this.
Let's do it.
I'm going to take the other side of this game. This is a big moment for that organization, for Fields. They've got decisions to make. And because they own other picks.
They own Panthers pick and they own somebody else.
They don't have to tank. They're better off tanking, but they don't have to.
They need to tank and get 1 and 3, get Marvin Harrison and Caleb Williams.
And that's probably where they're headed. But Fields has played decent football at times lately. For the sake of it, I'll take the other side.
Okay. I'm with you. All right, Neal. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 5th pick, and then we'll go money line.
They have the Valley Motel in Water Valley, Drew says. It's a wonderful establishment.
Doors, that's my guy. That's my guy, Drew.
Rent by the hours. That's a bring your own sheets kind of place.
Wow. One of them places, huh?
Yeah. That's the one thing I ask now. If you're going to send me to someplace nasty, let me know that I'm going someplace nasty. Because, I don't like
Neal.
I don't like nasty.
Neal, you're going someplace nasty.
Okay.
I'm going to give you forewarning.
So I need to pack sheets.
And probably a gun.
That's great.
Probably need to go get your concealed carry before you go. So you can fly with it.
That's awesome. It's ridiculous.
You can get a lot of, what are you doing here? What?
Oh, I bet. I bet.
I look forward to the interviews. You got to interview. You should have to interview someone in every town that you have to stop in.
That's okay.
You do that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
That'd be interesting. All right. Neal, my 5th pick. Give me. This team's been sneaky good the last 5 or 6 weeks. Had a little bump in the road last week. But they're playing a team that literally probably the most disappointed team in the NFL that I'm disappointed in.
Okay.
Where I expected something good, but they literally get as little out of their talent of any team in the NFL.
He says he's sending him to Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
That's good. Easy on my boys at Pine Bluff, man. Pine Bluff. All right, Neal. The Chargers have been getting as little out of their team as humanly possible.
Yep.
And it's really disappointing.
6-0 last week.
6 to freaking nothing. And covered. And covered.
I had it.
Jeez, McChristmas.
That was like the moment where I went, maybe I have a shot here. The team that I picked to cover a line scores 6 points and wins. A 5-point line.
But they were playing an interdivisional game this week against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
They were favored by 3. Is that correct?
Let's see. I'm looking.
I had San Diego minus 3.
Denver plus 2.5.
Give me the Broncos plus 2.5 on the road. It's not even a road game. Their own fans don't even support them.
No, there'll be more Denver fans than there are Charger fans.
We may have that one Charger fan that's a lady that like the government puts there to and NBC puts there to like support
Yeah.
act like they're have fans. Give me the Broncos plus would you say 2.5?
Yep.
2.5 at the Chargers. And I got money line. I'm done.
Oh, we're doing a money line too?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do this. We haven't done it in NFL, but why not?
Why not? Okay. I might save that for the money line.
You may be doing the same money line I'm doing. You doing this one? I only got one left, so I hope so.
Yes. That was the one I was going to do. I'll do a different one.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and take the game then.
All right.
It's one of those spots where I think a veteran team coming off of an embarrassing loss is going to play with pride. Divisional game. Those games are usually close. Give me the Eagles plus 3.5 in Dallas.
Yeah, I know this is doubling up kind of, but that's my money line. I'm going to save the drama. McCarthy had a appendectomy last night.
Oh, really?
Play caller. NFL's big deal.
Yeah, big deal.
Mispreparation. You got a division. I know they know each other.
Yeah.
Interdivisional opponent, all that stuff. Also a big moment for the Cowboys. But look, the Eagles, this is I think they got to get right here. They got to do something here. They got embarrassed last week. You could look at a situation, Neal, where all of a sudden you go from going to the Super Bowl last year, 2 weeks before this, you were the best team in the NFC, going to the number 3 seed like that, and second in your division. Excuse me. They'd go all the way to the 4 seed, right? Or maybe 5 seed. Because if the Cowboys get the division lead on you, don't you go straight to 5 regardless of your record?
I'm not sure.
I think so. Give me the Eagles money line plus 160. I think it's a must win. Not necessarily also for the division, but for their playoff hopes. They could get in a situation to where being a wild card at whatever. Because if the Cowboys win, they I think they hold the head to head.
Okay. I don't see a whole hell of a lot of appealing money lines here, which is sort of the NFL way. I don't hate the Panthers money line at plus 180. Believe it or not,
brave soul.
But I'm not going there. Give me the Raiders at home.
Yeah.
They're a 3-point underdog at home against Minnesota. It's not unrealistic. Give me the Raiders at plus 130.
Minnesota was hot and they've kind of hit the wall a
A little bit, yeah.
So they had a week off, being interested to see how they go. But yeah, that's good stuff. All right, Neal, we're gonna finish this bad boy off with life advice.
Okay.
And can you read it on your phone?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
First, I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Game Changer Patches, the only 2-patch system available in the market to stop hangovers before they start. The warm-up patch used before or while you drink. The overtime patch used after you've been drinking to recover while you sleep. The all-natural ingredients will keep you in the game. Ready for your next play, go to GameChangerPatch.com. Promo code RebelGrove20. That's RebelGrove20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase. Life advice presented by State Farm agent Cole Walters. Cole is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. So, Pete Deweese, you need any of that insurance, my guy? Before I head off to Pine Bluff.
Bob, too. Bob lives in Atlanta.
Yes, Bob's there, too. Hit up our guy, Cole Walters. How do I do that, Neal? 706.
And Jeff Collins.
Jeff Collins, too.
For right now. I
was going to say for now. 525-7850, 706-525-7850. You can also find him at ColeWaltersInsurance.com. All right. Life advice. This is a serious one.
This is a good one.
This is good. All right. Here we go.
Clear my mind.
It won't take you long.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, if you're sending me to Pine Bluff, I got to get my shots in right now.
Get them all in. Hey, just remember, I hadn't hit purchase on the old ticket yet.
Get the shots in before I get shot.
Hey, that just cost you 1,000 miles right there. You don't even know. That's what I'm going to do. Every shot that you take, I'm just going to add 1,000 miles. So Neal plus 1,000. Not a money line. That's miles added to the trip.
I'm glad I don't have a passport because God only knows where I'd get sent.
Oh, you were going straight to Gaza. Neal McCready on the ground here, guys.
All right, 42-year-old male. Okay. 42-year-old male, been dating for almost a year, a single mom of 3. He's been dating a single mom of 3. She has
Okay.
ages 10 and 9-year-old twins.
How can they be twins if they're 10 and 9?
Well, a 10-year-old and then 9-year-old twins.
Okay. Plus 2,000. I had to take that away from. No, we're back to even because that was maybe the dumbest question I've ever asked in my life. So we're back to even.
I was gonna say, why am I getting punished for that?
Minus 1,000.
He has one son who's a freshman in college. Okay. So he's 42. He has a freshman in college. The girl,
started early.
The woman that he is dating, is a single mom with a 10-year-old and 2 9-year-olds. Okay?
Thank you. I like how you rephrased that for me. Thank you.
We've been talking about getting serious and moving in together. I told her I was open, but not quite there yet. She said, well, we need to get married first. I then told her I would never get married again legally. He said, we can have a ceremony if you want. We can call each other husband and wife, but there's zero interest in legally being married. He says, I've laid over $200,000 in child support to my first wife and swore I would never involve the state in my finances again. She's saying it's a deal breaker. I'm leaning towards saying to hell with the whole thing because I see where it's going. We really have fun, and she's the best snuggler I've ever been with.
Snuggler, huh?
Yeah. That matters at some level. What should I do?
All right. And help me out with this. Isn't this what prenups are designed for?
Yes, that was one of the first thoughts that was going through my mind was you could solve some of this with the prenuptial agreement.
Well, if it's a financial issue, you can solve pretty much everything with a prenup, right? Now, she said...
I've never gone down that road, but I would assume.
Yeah, nor have I. I've had, I guess, players that I've coached that came into some money after college that I had to talk through this with. I would say get the prenup. And now I would say this, if you say, hey, I'm done paying child support, all the stuff, the financial, and I communicate, hey, this is why I don't want to get married. Not saying this would ever happen, but the reason I'm hesitant about being married has nothing to do with you. It's about I'm gun shy because I've lost $200,000 in child support in a previous marriage and all that stuff.
And wouldn't she already be getting child support for the 10-year-old and the 2 9-year-olds?
Yeah, it depends on her situation, I guess.
I mean, he would never owe child support for those kids. They're not his kids. Right?
I don't know. It depends. There's so much if you adopt them and all that stuff. Right?
Okay. All right.
I think you do prenup. And if you get that drawn up, and depending on what state, I know everybody's got different state laws and all that stuff, but depending on the state laws and prenup and all that stuff, if she was hesitant to sign a prenup, then I'd probably bolt.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would do the prenup, and then if she said, because look, here's the truth, and I don't want to break anybody's heart, but at 42 years old, not getting any younger. All right, not a lot of right swipes on the old Tinder app on the plus 40s. So if you got somebody that you truly love and you like, and you think that you're willing, because he literally said he'd do the ceremony, would spend all the time in the world with her, the whole deal, right?
Yep.
If you at 42 years old, if you found that person, don't let I would do the prenup.
Okay.
I'm not a big believer in. I think the older you get, I think in my opinion, this is my opinion, buy you a cup of coffee. I think people give up on relationships over stupid shit sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Now, me personally, like I'm in a situation at my house, okay? There ain't 3 people, on this planet. Excuse me, there's 4 people on this planet that put up with my shit. 5 people. My mom, I guess my mom and dad, my wife, and my kids, they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Right?
They're not volunteering.
There's 0% chance I could go find
Brock calling right now.
He's out. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Brock
out. Says he's a no.
He's a no. But you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't imagine trying to, at 45, trying to go, shit, am I 45 or 46? I think I just had a birthday. What year are we in? Shit, I'm
2023.
46. I'm 46. That's bad. I'm sorry. There goes.
I didn't say a word.
Hey,
I didn't say a thing.
Hey, Neal,
I said nothing.
Neal, you're now minus 1,000.
There you go.
All right.
I was going to say, don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have thought it, but I didn't say it.
I can see your mind. I can see you turn like, holy shit. It's been a long week, Neal.
It has.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you find somebody that you truly care about, I think sometimes petty shit gets in the way and everybody's looking for the most perfect person. I saw this video. You'll like this.
Okay.
Some guy goes, had like his calculator, and he said, goes up to some random girl. He says, what would your ideal height for an ideal partner be? And she goes, 5'10" or 5'10" plus. And he goes, okay, how much money would you expect your partner to make? And she said, I don't know. I don't have any money, so anything would be better. She goes, well, how much? She goes, I don't know, $20,000 a year. He calculates it in. That means your pool has been cut down to 8.2% of the population.
At 20,000 and 5'10" plus? Yeah. Wow.
Now, it's just some, video or whatever, right? So my point is this, is like, it's not as easy as everybody makes it. If you find somebody that you care that much about, get the freaking prenup, man. And if she doesn't want to sign a prenup, now I tell her to kick her rocks. But that's how I do it. What do you think?
I don't disagree with you. I would say this in defense of him. He feels this strongly about this. Obviously, he feels like he's been burned.
Yeah.
Okay. He's 42. Between the two of them, they have 4 kids. I'm guessing they aren't having more kids.
Boy, 42. I had one. Yeah. Unless it's just a whoops. Snuck one past the goalie. See my soccer analogy for you?
Yeah.
You like that?
I did.
Okay.
You know what's funny when you said that? I pictured hockey and not soccer.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Well, I did that for you.
Well, thanks. Oxford tonight against Lewisburg.
Let's go.
Trying to get to 3-0 in the district.
Like it.
Trying to get to 2-0 without Jeremiah Dudley. If we can win a couple of district games without Jeremiah Dudley, when we get him back,
watch out.
Yeah, we're building a little depth. Freshman played, Michael Thompson. Freshman played a lot of forward in a district game on the road.
NIL healthy. It's Chargers, looks like.
Yeah, Michael played really well. That's something to build on. As you can see, his confidence gaining over the course of the game. Really made some plays. Hey, when you're a freshman and all of a sudden you're in the lineup with a bunch of juniors and seniors, that's a moment for you now. Hey, because juniors and seniors are like, let's go, and you're going. I like that.
Not joking. Today, legislators in the state of Alabama proposed giving NIL money to high school players. Just so you know. Go ahead. Next, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Look, I think you gave the right advice. The one thing I was going to say is, for her to be like, no, this is an ultimatum. The ultimatum sends up a little bit of an alarm bell for me.
You talking about to get married?
Yeah. I mean, I would say, okay.
I don't know though.
Like, here's my thing. If he says, look, you as a woman, do you want to marry a man who tells you right off the bat, I'm not ready to get married? That's I mean, if you go, no, I'm forcing you to get married. I would be like, why are we forcing this? What's the point? Right? She's got I guess economics, household, stuff like that. But that's not something you force.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If a woman says to me, hey, I like you and I want to keep hanging out with you, but I'm not ready to get married yet, the last thing I'm going to say is, well, look, either you get married right now or we're done.
Yeah, I'm not a big ultimatum guy.
So, and by the way, if I'm ever out there and you hear me getting married again, send me to Pine Bluff.
Do I get to kick you in the nuts first?
That'd be fine. Hit me. But what are you doing? But I don't know. I mean, if you have reservations, I guess we're giving advice to him. If you have reservations about getting married, then you shouldn't get married until you no longer have those reservations.
Yeah, I took the message as the only reservation he had was financial, about if he got divorced.
Okay, I'm reading it again.
Maybe I'm wrong.
He says, we've been talking about getting serious and moving in together. I told her I was open, but not quite there yet. She said, well, we need to get married first. I then told her I would never get married again legally. So she's talking about moving in together, and he's like, look, I'm willing to talk about it, but I'm not getting married. I have reservations about getting, he has hardcore reservations about getting married. And if I'm looking, he's the one asking for advice.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking about him.
Yeah.
If you have reservations, you shouldn't get married.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get married until you no longer have. Marriage is hard enough at times if you don't have any reservations. If everything, right?
It ain't easy.
It is not always easy. So if you're walking and you're walking into a blended family thing, so if you have reservations walking into it, it's probably not going to work, right? You don't come out of the timeout to set up an inbounds play with everybody going, I don't think that's a good call. I don't know what we're doing. Hey, do you even know what we're doing? I don't know who's screening who here. That's not going to work. The only way it's going to work is you're coming out of the huddle. Hey, Jimmy, you're setting the screen right here. Bobby, we've run this in practice. We've run this in practice so many times, guys, that all we got to do is we're getting the ball to Troy up here at the top. It's just a matter of whether he makes the shot or not. But we're going to get a good shot.
Yep.
Right? That's confidence. You want the marriage to work, you gotta have confidence at the onset of a marriage. Because there's gonna be rocky roads, especially with stepkids and all of that stuff. There's gonna be obstacles. There's gonna be days when you're gonna have reservations that creep into your head. If you're walking into it with reservations, hey, Troy ain't ever getting that shot up at the top of the key. Someone's deflecting this ball. The buzzer's gonna go off and you're losing.
Yeah. I guess I see your point there. If he's got reservations beyond, I didn't take it. That's what my advice was. How I thought the question was like his only reservation was the money.
And
but
Pete's
if it's not,
Pete's got something here. I mean, as much as this sounds really petty. I mean,
is that how they do it in Pine Bluff?
How much does he value the snuggle?
One of them rates in Pine Bluff, them hourly rates.
Yeah, I mean, how much does that matter to you? If that were to be taken away from you, how much? No joke, does that impact you? If you're like, look, I'd be okay. All right. If you're like, hey, I don't know. I mean,
you're killing me.
You got to put value on things.
Yeah, I got nothing for you on that one.
I would say, me personally, I've always, I think, been able to go, that doesn't have enough value.
Kate Upton?
I mean, even with Kate, right?
Yeah, what? Yeah.
There's a value to a place, and then after that place, the value, boom.
Bullshit. Neal is lying. He'd be like, what prenup you want me to sign? I was like, did you say I owe you money when we leave this thing? Where's the pen? Where's the pen?
I don't know, though. Bottom line is I think you should communicate more. I think y'all should have more conversations about why you have such reservations about marriage.
Communicate.
And I wouldn't just walk away from the relationship if you really like this person, but I would not be strong-armed into marrying someone because you will become resentful.
No, you don't get strong-armed. Like I said, I read it the other way. If it was just a financial situation and I would do the prenup if that was an option. But yeah, I think one of the reasons. Now, look, there's some reasons that you get divorced. Don't get me wrong. There's a couple that I'm like, yes, they're non-negotiables. But I am a big believer in relationships that it's not going to be easy. Anything worth fighting for is not easy. And you got to do you got to compromise, but you also, compromise is not a one-way street. You know what I mean? Like that person has to compromise too.
Of course.
And the way I view it as a real relationship is the other person compromises as well and is willing to do that. That's worth fighting for. And so I think that, cause look, good ones are hard to find, man.
We'll finish with this. Austin points out that I will like this quote from the great Pam Beasley.
Okay.
From The Office, where she says, Michael, how many great relationships start with an ultimatum? I mean, it's real. That's, I mean, greatest show in the history of the world, The Office.
Yeah.
You
know, I've not watched one episode.
Are you serious?
Not the first one.
Wow.
Now, meanwhile, Brock has watched every episode probably 10 times.
I have to.
He bought it on Apple, whatever, and like he watches it every day. Literally every day. That's what he watches.
It's brilliant.
I also never watched an episode of Jerry Seinfeld.
Really?
When it was.
You still haven't?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No.
I can't criticize because like people will talk about like The Godfather.
I don't think it's
like
bad.
that, and I've never watched it. I've just
never watched The Sopranos.
I haven't either. I've never watched The Sopranos.
It's weird, like stuff like that. I mean, what it is, what it is.
All right, we'll be back on Monday. Everybody have a great weekend. As we get closer to the holidays, we'll be with you Monday and Thursday of next week, and then after that, we'll start getting into the holidays. We'll figure out what our schedule is. So again, thanks to all the people at Rain Total Body Fuel for their time, for their support of us. Please check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. For Tyler, I'm Neal. Till next time, take care.